Welcome to the Michigan Travel Show, a kaleidoscope of stories about the people, places, and events that shape our great state.
Well, I'm here at the Georgia Visitor Center here in Plains, Georgia, home of Jimmy Carter. So I'm going to go see his little boyhood home, his farm, a few other things. Georgia's got all kinds of things right there. Our only president here from Georgia. This is a cool visitor center. State parks, lots of state parks. And here's a tribute to Jimmy Carter in the corner here. Pretty cool. Here he is standing, saying hello to everybody. There's a few things he did right there. And all the things he did in office. It's a crazy time back then. SALT II, national security, American values, Department of Energy. Yep, good old Jimmy Carter. Well, we're gonna, a couple rocking chairs, a movie about him here. 39th president, his term at a glance, right there. And of course, Georgia State Parks. Lots to do here in Georgia. They always got a good visitor center. So, cool. Well, they even got a real phone here. Cool. Okay, well. Time to go to the Jimmy Carter place here in Plains, Georgia. Just a mile from downtown. Cool. This is it, the Plains, Georgia Visitor Center. A little park here. This is the hometown of Jimmy Carter. We're gonna head into town, check out a couple of his little sites. So, I always heard about Plains, Georgia. Well, we're gonna go and see what Mr. Peanut Farmer did. And I thought he passed away, but they said he is still living at his house. He's 99 years old, so we will come by on this willow oak. And we're just walking around the building here. We got a little lake out here. That's the backside. You can just kind of sit back here and relax if you like. And there's the little lake. And a couple picnic benches, but real nice spot here. Good way to welcome visitors into Plains, Georgia. Here it is. We're gonna go into Plains High School Museum and Visitor Center, where Jimmy Carter started his illustrious life here at this high school, and he's now 99 years old. Here it is, where Jimmy Carter went to high school, right here, Plains, Georgia High School. Well, there's a little plaque here. Plains to presidency. It's a little podunk town here in Georgia. Yep. And a few other places to see. The Jimmy Carter National Store commemorates the legacy of the peanut farmer who became the 39th president, serving from 77 to 81. The rural southern culture of Plains, Georgia, a large influence in molding the character and shaping its political policies. Beyond the Oval, continued humanitarian efforts earning the Nobel Peace Prize in 2000. One person standing in principle can make a positive difference in the lives of many. And then these are a few other places: the Plains Depot Expo, Carter Home, his church. So anyway, I'll go in here and check it out. So, well, this school opened in 1921 and closed in 1979. So it's not a one. It's still in operation as a museum, but other than that, that's it. So anyway, we're going to go in and check it out and go from there. The Jimmy Carter National Historical Park here in Plains High School. School looks like right there. Jimmy and Rosen Carter. Pretty cool. So this was the principal's office. Like I said, back in the 20s through 1979, the school was in operation for 58 years. Books, trophies, all those things. A paddle. Stern punishment, you get a paddle. That's something they don't have anymore. Can't do that. That's in it. Yep, a bell. Washroom. Pretty cool. Talked about how things are kind of different. Segregated schools. Totally different. Yeah. Well. So how many people go to the school here, and that's how many went to Board's Chapel, but they didn't have as many books. Totally different deal. Rural education. Everything was rural back then. It's the Plains High Buffaloes. School's out. Graduation day at Plains High School. Top of her class, Rosalind Smith. That was Rosalind Carter, was the top, but was an all-aid student when she left high school. These are what classes looked like back then. I sat in school. Tables like that in school. Pretty cool. Jimmy Carter. In school, I learned how to make relatively simple chairs, tables, and my most challenging project, in which I received my final grade, was a scale model of the White House. Jimmy Carter. He had 26 members of the graduating class. Non-graduate received a certificate for attending school at least 11 years. Well, it was different back then, Exhibits, that's pretty cool. Approximately 250 students when the Carters were in school. Carter Center, waging peace, fighting disease, and building hope. The Carter Center, I don't know exactly, it's located in Atlanta. So, right there. Pretty cool. Improving lives, spreading democracy, motivating the Camp David Accords. 3 other presidents have received the Nobel Peace Prize. Theodore Roosevelt, 1919, League of Nations, Woodrow Wilson, 2009, Barack Obama, international diplomacy and cooperation between peoples. The Nobel Peace Prize. Nobel laureates receive a hand-wrought gold medal and 3 gold-plated bronze replicas. The Latin phrase around the edge translates for the peace and brotherhood of men. The Nobel Peace Prize. For decades, and trying after to find a peaceful solution to international advance human rights and to promote economic and social development. Carter became the 3rd president to receive the prestigious award. It's true. Our commitment to it must be absolute. Our laws, our national beauty preserved. The powerful must prosecute the weak, and human dignity must be enhanced. The American dream endures. We must once again have full faith in our country and in one another. Here's presidential headquarters, big campaign headquarters. Him and Roslyn, 1976. I look forward to working with President Ford and others like him. Even though divided by party, we are united by common devotion to this country and the well-being of others. This campaign getting down to grassroots. He ran a grassroots. It was different back then. There it is. Just campaign buttons, kind of cool. Jimmy who? Taking a stand, inspiring others. Hard day's work of peanut farming, the power of faith. Yeah.
When he left the presidency, he could have lived anywhere in the world. He came back to Plains.
A witness to history. He was governor of Georgia in 1971.
He gives so much back to the town. Come see us, even if it's just not the man.
I felt very close to Plains and people, even we were away from them, we cared about this community. Here's the auditorium in the high school here. Pretty cool. Community center now. Pretty cool. In classroom fields, resources. As long as I was in the world, I always knew somebody loved and supported me. Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Roslyn Carter. Jimmy Carter, National Historical Site. Right there. Pretty cool. Oh, here's the many faces of this Plains High School. American flag, trophies, and to tribute here to Rosalynn Carter, First Lady from his lifelong partner. Pretty cool. We must adjust to changing times. And there it is, Park Service. And there was a second floor. There is his campaign banner back from 1976. It must have been his offices here, but this is the little downtown section right here of Plains, Georgia. Small town America. I see the building built in 1901, so probably all of them along here built at the turn of the century. Plains Peanut and Granary. You look down here, big Rosalynn Carter Trail, but here is the granary here where the railroad stopped, get the peanuts and everything else growing out here. And the early days was built in 1885. Milton Lander donated the land for the town. New railroad line. The depot was the oldest, built in 1888. And right there, Plains in 1905. Well, here in the little park right here. So this is Plains, Georgia. Doesn't look too much different than probably when Jimmy Carter grew up. So, small town America. Well, I'm gonna do a quick little tour of his boyhood farm. So we're gonna go down and check it out. Couple of horses out there. There's the farm right there. We're gonna pull up to it here in a minute. Okay, we're gonna walk into the boyhood farm. Check out the main building, archery. You like to, and from here to Plains, it was 3 miles long walk back then. So let's walk up and check out the building up here. They do some educational farming out here. Bring school kids out here, show them a little bit about what farming's about. Always a reckoning. Had a pony in his day. Here is the farm building, and I guess I can go in and check it out for 5 minutes. They close at 5. Probably had an outhouse in their day, right there. Jimmy Carter slept here growing up. Yep. Our lives were centered around, almost completely around our own family and our own home. Yep, that's how it was back before the 70s. All about what was at home. Looks like we got a few chickens in there. Yeah. was probably a well in its day. Yeah, pulled water out of there. Right along there, pretty cool. Well, let's see what it is. One of it, this is the Carter house he grew up in. Typical home in the 70s. Yep, there it is. Obviously had the windmill, drawing up water. That's how it was before the 70s. Looks like they played a little bit of tennis here on a clay court. That was pretty cool. So, just a sleepy little place now. Like I said, educational farm. Looks like they may have had a gas station here at one time. So, but that's all she writes. Where they had tools and sheds and all the grocery store, pharmacy, all those other good things. Yeah, pretty cool. This windmill still works. There's water coming out of that pump. That's pretty cool. There it is. Yep, windmill still works and brings up water from the ground. They took it all the way up into that tank. Pretty cool. That's what you had to do back then. And these are just a sidewalk connecting the buildings. Like I said, this is an educational farm now. Bring school kids out here, show them what's out here. Farming's a different ball game now, but kind of cool. That's the equipment they used to use 75 to 100 years ago. Pulled it with a tractor or a horse, and that was it. This was his boyhood farm. And one of the barns here. Some people out there checking stuff out. So anyway, another barn here. Like I said, just some old buildings of what it was like back then. That brings back memories of my uncle's farms. Yep. Definitely just a different era, a different time. Well, kind of cool to see it. Yeah, pretty cool. Mistaken, those are a couple of mules who used to do work around here. Now they're, once again, educational. Yeah, got a generator running in here, it sounds like. So, anyway, well, these are all the things they used back then for farming. Cash crops, whatever they can make money with. They made a little bit of everything. Cotton, corn, watermelon, sugar cane, sweet potato, and peanuts. Sugar cane grown here was crushed and boiled down for syrup. Never far from home, that's true. He was in the Navy, thought he'd stay there forever, but he did come back. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Proverbs 22:6. So true. You always go back to where you were born. Yep. Always go back home. Pretty cool. Farming, yep. Legacy of an outdoor childhood. He's never far from being outdoors. That's yep, his outdoor journal. Yep. Take care of God's gifts. Take care of the land we have. Yep. Yeah. Huh. Bronson and Jimmy Carter promoted tree farming in the 80s. Farmers like the Carters have planted so many trees that today more pines grow in Georgia than 100 years ago, with more acres of commercial forest than any other state. Timber is one of Georgia's most profitable agricultural crops. Pretty cool. Yep. Hey, just right here is where the Jimmy Carter grew up, as we've checked out all these buildings. In the early years of my life on the farm, we always had enough to eat, but no money to waste. We felt close to nature, close to members of our community, close to God. That's the truth. Yep, I kind of checked it all out. And archery, he liked doing archery. The Carters lived here until they sold the land in '49. It remained privately owned until when the Park Service acquired 17 of the original 300. After a multi-year restoration, the Carter Boyhood Farm opened to the public in 2000. The community where his farm resides and where Jimmy Carter's part of Archery, Georgia, not Plains. The community was by William Decker, an African Methodist Episcopal Church bishop, after the Slumlight Order of Archery and social service benefiting poor African American. Most lived for African American tenants were for Earl Carter. See a map of the once existing community below. Oh, okay, they all lived along there. Okay. Numerous animals are on this property, but I only saw two. The two horses, Patty and Penny. Well, that's what it is. The Plains Depot, I went to that. Yep. Plains Depot, went by it. Built by the Carters, and this ranch house on Woodland Drive is the only home where they have ever owned. Yep, right there, and President Carter is still there at 99 years old, and this is right there, the Carter compound. I remember it was all fenced off. Pretty cool. Well, it's been interesting.